Chi-Town, Chi-Town, Chi-Town. Ooh, I think I've made a mistake not going to this show tonight, but by God, was it enjoyable? And let me just say this right here before I even begin this whole NXT Takeover Chicago 2 review. Can this even come close to Money in the Bank tomorrow night? You know, it's like these NXT Takeover shows. It's not even really surprised. You can't really say anything bad about a lot of these Takeover shows. That they just keep beating the main roster shows. Fuck whatever Raw and SmackDown's doing tomorrow night. This was the show tonight. I'd be okay if I didn't even watch Money in the Bank tomorrow, because Money in the Bank tomorrow is about to be very, 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 very long. Like, really long tomorrow. Because that show is like what starts at 4 in the afternoon and around my time. So, and it's over here in Chicago, so I don't even know how that's about to work out to be. But let's get to NXT Takeover Chicago 2, All-State Arena, Chi-Town, and there was a difference on the show. Well, we did have a different commentator. Yes, Nigel McGuinness and Percy Watson were there, but since Mar Ronaldo could not be there tonight, he did say he was going to be doing some boxing thing for Showtime, so he was replaced by Vic Joseph. He is the current... I think he's a part of the 205 Live commentary team, so that's pretty much what it was. That's why, you know, he was there tonight. I watched a couple times with him on there, so Joseph is good. I will say that he is, you know, he's really good. But other than him being a commentator here, we kicked it off once again. The opening match, Undisputed Era, Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly. I don't know why I said that wrong. Adam Cole was out there with them as they went against Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch. Mostly this crowd was pro Undisputed Era as people chanted Undisputed. They weren't really with Lorcan and Danny Burch, but they kind of continued throughout the match to like them. Listen, this match right here pretty much kicking off the show, and it was freaking great, okay? These guys were just going nuts on each other. But who was going to get more of the cheers? Undisputed Era. Of course, you were hearing Adam Cole, baby, chant out there. And, you know, this was, like, it was just awesome. Lorcan with those stiff, you know, shots with the elbows, which he was really great out here too. Him falling off the turnbuckle, hitting his back on the apron part looked really brutal. Even the referee had to kick out Adam Cole when they almost won the match, and pretty much people chanting bullshit then. So Lorcan and Burch really had to work with a tough crowd here, because the heel is like most of the crowd was pro heels right here. Okay, they were pro heels. I did like the double blockbusters they did. Even in coming into the end of the match when O'Reilly had like the guillotine in, it didn't work, and stuff. And as you know, in the one sequence I did like when they had the submission on each other. Lorcan pretty much had like a half crab. O'Reilly tried to come back, but I think it was Burch that put him in a cross face, and they had like double submissions, and O'Reilly was able to roll and pretty much kick Lorcan to break it up. And then, you know, everybody's chanting NXT, and it was just kind of going crazy out there. Next thing you know, they just start beating the hell out of each other, from knee strikes to rapid fist strikes. It looked crazy, but Undisputed Era was pretty much got the upper hand, and pretty much in with the total elimination to pretty much pick up the win. And by the way, this is the first match here, people. This is just the first match, and it was already hot. And then they were just kind of standing in the ring after they getting an ovation from the crowd. So I think they proved themselves tonight that they are a pretty much a, I wouldn't say a top level tag team yet, but they are up there, because they, you know, have been around the block a couple times in NXT, but putting them as a team has been really good, and it has been enjoyable. So like I said, we will see where this goes between these two. Could we see another rematch against the Undisputed Era? Not really sure, but Undisputed Era picked up the win. Crowd was pro Undisputed Era, and it was a very great match to watch. So, like I said, this is only the beginning, okay? This is the beginning of the show. We even moved into Velveteen Dream versus Ricochet. Man, that Patrick Clark, man, I tell you, like, one thing that very kind of surprised me, and this was like a double thing. This dude came out like Hulk Hogan, okay? And I feel like he wore the Hogan gear to get heat because you notice how nobody even referenced Hulk Hogan in this. The commentators, I didn't really even hear Hogan chant or anything. Mostly a lot of people may think he's a piece of, racist piece of shit in general. But and I don't know if it was really people, but the fact that he wore like a Hulk Hogan gear that kind of said like "Dream is over" or something. And he kind of had like Prince Puma's tights on. You can just kind of see the colors to it. Like, yes, it was red and yellow, but like you see the Prince Puma stuff like he had in Lucha Underground, and like the Hulk Hogan bandana and the shirt, and he's even doing the whole ear thing. And I felt like this was a way to draw heat, and that was just great. Okay, just looking at it was great, and I felt like it was a way to draw heat, but it did look really good. I don't think Hulk Hogan's coming back anytime soon in the company, but the fact that he came out like that was very surprising, I will say. It was odd at first, but it was interesting at the same time. But, looking what I saw from here is Ricochet versus Velveteen Dream. This was another great match, and both of these guys, they went toe-to-toe. I did like that Dream, which the guy can tell a great story out there in psychology, that he's doing Ricochet's moves, trying to imitate him, and doing the he did like a top count heel to the outside, and he says, "Get up, Bingo Hall," and it's like when I know I'm kind of stuttering a little, but when Velveteen Dream kind of like he imitates somebody's move and he jumps off like kind of doing like a high spot, I feel like he goes in slow motion. When he went over the ropes doing the top count, it looked like he just kind of went in slow motion going over, and even doing a somersault off the top rope onto Ricochet. It just looks like it's in slow motion. But I would say both of these guys pretty much killed each other out here, as you heard chants of both these guys chants, which people were with. Ricochet doing that whole cartwheel kick was insane. He even hit a deadlift suplex, which both of them kind of kept countering each other into suplexes that looked crazy until Velveteen Dream got Ricochet on the top rope and even did a suplex from there to the floor. It got a holy shit chant. Ricochet pretty much got up then and started kicking the shit out of Velveteen Dream. He hit his DDT and even kind of stole his not the rolling thing move, but he tried to it's like a not Rolling Thunder, but I never get the move right, but Death Valley Driver. I'm sorry, a Death Valley Driver he did. Even Dream doing a Death Valley Driver off the top rope. But the thing that Ricochet, which I thought was insane to do when he tried to do I think it was a 450 and it was a 630, but he was going to do either the 450 or the 630, but he was able to do the shooting star press very far away, but Velveteen Dream pretty much put his legs up and blocked them. And I'm thinking this about to be a coast to coast. This dude did a purple rainmaker very far away from the, really far, like a coast to coast, what Shane McMahon does, or RVD. And he misses it, but pretty much Ricochet was able to counter it, and he hit the 630 and he picked up the pinfall. So once again, another great match with Ricochet and Velveteen Dream. Dream is just great. All right, you can't really say anything bad about Velveteen Dream just because he just kind of, like I said, the guy can just tell a great story or whatever type of psychology he's using in the ring, and it's that great. Ricochet, he's just great as always. Can't really say that much bad about him. Maybe his mic works sometimes, but once again, these two kill it, and the crowd was with these two for tonight. Which, like I said, you're only in 2 matches in, and this show is just already fantastic. So I'm going to get to more matches so I kind of give an overall grade near the end of it. Next was Nikki Cross, who came out against Shayna Baszler. Now, this match, I felt it was kind of rough for the crowd. This is where I felt the crowd kind of, in a way, cooled off, but they were still pro Nikki Cross. I did feel like this match, it didn't really go that long either, and it was, it was okay. It was kind of okay for what it was. I will admit that. It was okay for what it was. I felt this was a way for Nikki Cross to lose here, so maybe she can go back to Sanity and put her on SmackDown with them, because we still haven't seen Sanity debut yet. So what I hear, my friend tells me that something to do with copyright issues or something. Because even I've wondered, like, they were promoting Sanity on SmackDown for like a week or two, and then they just kind of stopped out of the blue, and we haven't heard from them since. Will they debut on Money in the Bank tomorrow? I don't know when they'll debut, but it has kind of catch my eye now that, Nikki Cross lost the match. But the fact that she was out there and didn't even flinch when Shayna Baszler kept coming at her, and she's just laughing throughout the match, taking out Baszler, which was crazy. One thing that was kind of odd that people did, it's like the crowd was kind of looking in the crowd somewhere and saying, "You both suck," and I think it was because people were throwing the beach ball or something. Listen, people, if it's NXT, don't throw the beach ball. And I know it's Chicago, so don't even try to chance CM Punk either. Save that for tomorrow night. Save that for Money in the Bank. Save the beach balls for tomorrow, because it's going to be a lot of stuff that sucks on that show tomorrow. As for the Punk chance, I don't even want to get in that whole thing right now. You can check out my review from that with the Dominion review. But, like I said, this was a good match. Baszler pretty much kept, putting Nikki Cross into the clutch after Cross tried to get the crucifix pinfall, but it didn't work. Baszler did hit the pretty much the chokehold, the clutch, but Nikki Cross never tapped out. Okay, she never tapped out. She just kind of did this and smiled, had a smile on her face, and she passed out. So she lost the match, but it was pretty much by submission. But she never tapped out, and she pretty much kind of never gave up. But that's kind of part of the character right there. You could see Cross pretty much laughing even after the match. Was this a way to take her off NXT to put her on, SmackDown with the other Sanity members? I don't know. Could we see another match with these two? I don't know. But I thought this match was okay for what it was. This was kind of one of the weaker matches of the show. Was the crowd into it? Yes. Were they with Nikki Cross throughout this whole match? Yes. But like I said, they kind of got a little bit distracted by the beach ball at one point in time. Next, EC3 was in the crowd, and Keith Lee, their newest signing they had. Keith Lee was there too. Next match, the NXT title was on the line, which, I was okay. Okay, I get that the title wasn't the main event on the last Takeover show. I understand why, because the whole unsanctioned match. But then again, I was like, really? Gargano and Ciampa are going to main event the show again? Which you knew something great was going to happen out of that in general. But I'm just saying, man, the title should be the main event. It's like this is 2 times in a row now. And even I thought, okay, could Black main event the pay-per-view this time? He is the champion here. Did I like this match? Yes, this was a good match. I will admit that. Once again, I don't know why people try to chant CM Punk for, but I did like this match. Pretty much beginning off, Black trying to hit the Black Mass. Sullivan blocking it, grabbing Black's foot, pretty much blocking the Black Mass, even trying to go for the freak accident, which didn't work. I did that. Black did the Golden Triangle moonsault, pretty much landing on Sullivan in the ring. Outside the ring, when I say in the ring. Taking him out from there. Sullivan tried to hit, once again, block the Black Mass kick, pretty much hit him with a freak accident, still didn't work. You saw Black trying to mostly hit a lot of, combination moves on him, mostly a lot of kicks and stuff, trying to hit with multiple knee strikes to make it work. The only thing that was probably bad, of course, about this match, and I'm sure everybody saw this, was the Black Mass, but he completely missed the whole thing. Like, that was just obvious. You'll see that on Botchamania, but when Black tried to hit him from the back of the head, it he just literally missed after he hit the double stomp. It's like he just grazed it. And I know that the announcers tried to cover it, of course, but clearly Aleister Black missed that whole move, okay? He missed the whole thing. But Black tried to hit another one. Sullivan blocked it, but Black did hit a Black Mass, and Sullivan pretty much no-sold it, and he was on his knee. Black then pretty much yelled out a scream or war cry or whatever, and pretty much hit another Black Mass to Lars Sullivan, pretty much picking up the win and still retaining the NXT Championship. Listen, this was a good match for what it was. I will say that it wasn't the greatest match you ever seen. between these two, but at least they have moved up Lars Sullivan. Maybe they were just testing him out to see where he can go with this, since he is a big guy, and they had him go for the title right now. But like I said, I did enjoy the match. Of course, it was good. I'm still kind of surprised this wasn't the main event, but I can understand why. I can understand why they had this win right here, and maybe move on after Sullivan, and maybe they could have made this main event. But like I said, they were probably testing the waters with Sullivan, maybe see if he could main event it or not. But the match was enjoyable. It was a good match, I will say that, and Black did retain. But next thing you know was the main event. Oh boy, the main event. Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa, Chicago street fight. Holy shit, okay? Listen, is there anything you can say bad about this? Even with Gargano coming out there, Candice LeRae pretty much handed him the crutch from Takeover New Orleans, and she said kick his ass. He came out to his music. Ciampa came out to no music. Pretty much both of them going right at it, hitting each other, brawling with the crutches, of course. And yes, you saw ECW chant. This was ECW style, just like an old school ECW match, okay? This really was, and they laid it out there, even fighting into the crowd. One thing that was kind of crazy to me was that Ciampa tried to grab a sign, and I'm sure this was a planted fan, and he tried to break it, but Gargano took the sign and started beating Ciampa with it and opened it, which was a a street stop sign. So a fan helped Johnny Gargano and gave him a stop sign as a weapon, and it says use this Johnny with his logo on there. But so I said, I just kind of said to myself, did a fan just help Johnny Gargano? Like, really? Well, I said it's a street fight, so hey, anything goes. If anybody can hand a weapon, I guess so. But after he got the stop sign and started beating him with it, Gargano pretty much jumped off of the part of the stage in the crowd somewhere onto Ciampa, pretty much throwing him back into the ring, as there was a lot of Psycho Killer and Johnny Wrestling chants. Ciampa was able to hit pretty much a couple of German suplexes, which almost had a suplex city, but the fans booed that out of the building. Gargano hit him with a suicide dive in, but Ciampa pretty much got on the upper hand, and he took the steel steps. And this looked brutal to me here, okay? He took the steel steps, he set him by the ring, and he took a chair, put his neck in it, and threw it into the steel steps right there. Pretty much looked really brutal, I will say that, trying to take him out, even taking his shirt and choking Johnny Gargano with it, the Ciampa Takes Over Chicago shirt. And he even had handcuffs, but Gargano was able to break out of that. He pretty much hit him with the an enziguri and even a slingshot thing. And then he pretty much took his belt off and started whipping the shit out of Tommaso Ciampa with his people chanting, "You deserve it, you deserve it." Okay, this was just insane. And what else? They were using the trash cans on each other, even taking the trash cans, beating each other with it, of course, the lids of it, which at one point you saw, I think it was Gargano that had the trash can, and Ciampa had the crutch, pretty much both hitting each other in the head with it, and Gargano falling on top of Ciampa, pretty much trying to get the win on him, but that didn't work. And pretty much after that, Ciampa, he pretty much got the trash can and he started beating Gargano with it. And he went outside the ring and got some bolt cutters then. He started taking out parts of the ring, pulling it back, showing the wooden part of it. Was going to hit a Celtic cross, like a super one off the top rope, but it did not work. Gargano tried to even flip it into a sunset flip, but he couldn't take him down, so he super kicked him and then knocked him off the rope. Both guys were pretty much dead on the ground, then started hitting multiple punches at each other. Yeah, boo, and everything. And once again, they try to get the trash can and the crutch again, trying to go at each other. But as he was out of the ring, then Ciampa pretty much had Gargano outside of the ring, and he pretty much was going to knee him into the steel steps, but he hit his knee on the steps. Gargano pretty much saw his opening, started beating his knee to death, taking it, beating him with a chair several times, even trying to get the Gargano escape, but Ciampa was able to get out of there, and he pretty much kicked out. I think he kicked out of two after. He pretty much put the trash can on his head and kicked him when he really kicked out of that. Ciampa then pretty much was able to take out Gargano. I think it was with another not chair shot, but pretty much a trash can lid to the head. And people chanted, "We won tables," but Ciampa pretty much sat on the ring as he pretty much picked up Gargano and put him in almost like last year. NXT Takeover Chicago 1. This was literally reminiscent of last year. He says, "We were like brothers. You were like my family." But now he said, "You say goodbye to your wife and your career," and throws him into the LED wall just like last year. Just how DIY broke up. And Ciampa said that's not enough. It's not enough. And he was going to pretty much bring him to the side of the stage and was going to put him through some tables. But this was insane right here. Okay, this was great. He takes off Johnny Gargano's wedding ring, but then again, even I had to say to myself, why in the fuck would you wear your wedding ring to a wrestling match? That was kind of strange to me. But he takes his wedding ring off, which we kind of know wasn't the real one, spits on it and throws it to the side. Pretty much, you just can tell Gargano snapped from here. Boom, pretty much takes him, hits over the Celtic Cross right off of this whole stage thing onto a whole bunch of tables, where people thinking the match is over and stuff, okay? He thought the match could have been over. It could have been done. But Gargano just sat. He just sat calmly on the whole stage, on the top of the crates where he put Ciampa through. And as the medical team came out, the EMTs, they picked up Ciampa was going to take him out, as, you know, Ciampa was just in pain trying to get the hell out of there. Gargano just kept looking at his finger. And then next thing you know, this is where he snapped. He was pissed. He knocked the referee down. He knocked the EMTs down. He dragged the stretcher all the way back to the ring. And this is where he just snapped. This is where he just went insane right here, okay? Took off that neck brace, put him in that Gargano escape. And you can see Ciampa tapping out. And this is where I thought, like, where was the referee? Where was the referee? The match is over. But like I said, Gargano knocked the referee over. And this is where you know he was blinded by rage. He just put the handcuffs on him there, kicking him in the face. Super kick party. This was the super kick party here. Super kick. He was killing our Ciampa. And you know, security's there. They're trying to get rid of him. You're just trying to hold Giant Gargano back. Referees, everything. But Gargano just put that Gargano escape in. People trying to stop him. And, you know, he just knocks the refs and, you know, agents in the back, just knocked them over, and knocking them down. As he able to break free from them finally. He tried to get Ciampa again, but Ciampa pretty much got him with a DDT on the wooden floorboard. So attention to detail, folks. If we want to go back, he had him right there, okay? Remember those floorboards that he taken out? Used it later in time and just ended it. So right now, it's 1-1 with Ciampa and Gargano, okay? And as everyone tried to check on Gargano, all the EMTs, everybody, the greatest thing that ended this show as it went fade to black right here, fuck you Ciampa, just the coup de grace just ended it off right there. Mwah! It was great, okay? This was like an ECW match right here. This was like old school ECW, okay? These guys, this was a war. This was insanity here, okay? Someone was going to leave. One man was going to leave standing, okay? This was a fight to the freaking death, okay? And I would put this, you know, was this as great as the Unsanctioned match? Was it better than it? It's debatable if you want to go from that, but this match was just still great, okay? This was still insane, and it was freaking great. Alright, that's how great it was. Do I think it was better than the first one? To an extent, but I think I like the first one a little bit better back in New Orleans. But these two killed each other. They went, 35 plus minutes here and went insanity? Okay, so you know these guys are 1-1. So the rubber match has got to be at Brooklyn. This is where it's got to end off from here, because these two are 1-1 and it's got to end somewhere. And Brooklyn may be the rubber match. Could it be in a cage? Could it be in a Hell in a Cell? I don't know what will be in August when NXT Takeover Brooklyn comes. Okay, so right now this was just insanity. That's what I'm kind of pointing out there right now. Do I think this is over? I don't know if this will ever be over. This is probably one of the best stories they got going on right now in WWE, because this story has been going on since last year. And it continues to get even better and better and better. You don't know when this whole thing will end, okay? This is how this story is just... It's just that fucking great. Now, I've seen people tonight saying this a great match. Hell yeah, this probably will be match of the year. Some people are already trying to compare it to NJPW right now, saying like this is like Okada versus Omega or something, because since that has a story rivalry there with the whole the trilogy they did over there, and the match they recently did last Saturday, which I put at the top of my list of match of the year. But I'm not trying to compare them right now between NXT and NJPW, because they're their own separate entities, but both matches were great. Do I think Omega vs. Okada was a better match, probably match of the year? Hell yeah, but this was still great too. And listen, fuck whatever's going on with Money in the Bank. None of these NXT takeovers disappoint, okay? None of them disappoint. And tonight, it didn't disappoint. This main event told a great match. It was told a great story, right? The best story they got around here right now. And these two just beat the hell out of each other. This was war. This was the best match of the night instantly. So I can understand why this went to the main event. I would have had the title of the main event. Hopefully the title will be the main event the next one. You can't just keep kind of bypassing the whole NXT title as not the main event. I know this is the most important thing happening, but yeah, I get the title some love in the main event. But yes, this was the best match here. The tag team match was great for the titles. The opening, great as always. Loved it. I enjoyed Dream and Ricochet. That was also great. I thought the women's match was okay for what it was. It wasn't the best thing going, but I thought the match was okay. And I did love the NXT Takeover, not NXT Takeover, but the NXT title match between both Aleister Black and Lars Sullivan. I think it was good, okay? I didn't think it was a great match. I didn't think it was a bad match. I think it was really good, though. I did enjoy it, and Black was able to pick up the victory. Was this a predictable show? Yes, it was. I pretty much got all my predictions right of who was going to win. And we all know Tommaso Ciampa had to get his win back, of course, after what happened in New Orleans, so you knew that was coming. Can Money in the Bank even keep up with this tomorrow? Do we even need to go watch Money in the Bank tomorrow? Because it's going to be a very, 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 very long show, okay? That's just the point. It's going to be long, and only half of those matches will probably be good, because a lot of that shit sucks on that card that I'm not looking forward to. And listen, you want to see the CM Punk chance? Wait till tomorrow night to do the CM Punk chance in Chicago. Wait till tomorrow night to hijack the show. Wait till tomorrow night to throw beach balls everywhere. That's when you all want to do it, okay? That's the time you really want to see this. This here tonight, this was just damn near perfection, okay? 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5, A+, whatever you want to do with this show, okay? This show was just great. So NXT TakeOver, they never disappoint. They always put on great shows. They're damn near their own little company, if you want to go right there. Some people think it's, I don't know, PWG, but on a budget or something. But this was just fucking great, okay? I love this main event. It was great. I don't know what is going to come next out of Gargano and Ciampa, but you know it's going to get better. You know you're going to love it, and you know it's going to get insane. What does that mean for the title? I don't know what's going to happen next with the title, but hey, we just going to have to find out, whatever happens next time with NXT TakeOver on the next one, most likely Brooklyn 3. But Chicago to tear it down. Again, of course, I actually wish I would have went to this one. That's why I was really debating on between Money in the Bank and going to TakeOver. I wasn't really going to go to Money in the Bank because A, it was costing too high, and I wasn't really interested in going anyway. I know a guy that's going there tomorrow. Hopefully he enjoys the show. But this was the show tonight, okay? This was the show to watch. This was just great. Just watch this show, okay? That's all you got to do. If you want to watch a good 2.5 hour, 3 hour show, this is the show to watch, okay? What is Money in the Bank tomorrow? Like what? Damn near 5-6 hour show we got tomorrow with over 10, 11 matches, with only half of them you only care about. They can't even keep up with this. Come on, look what happened in New Orleans, folks. NXT TakeOver New Orleans was better than WrestleMania. Look at the main event, the Mania, and look at the main event of TakeOver Orleans. I don't even know what's the main event going to be tomorrow. Hell, I don't even think Nakamura and Styles could even live up to the hype of this in a last man standing match, if that's even the main event. But we will see what happens tomorrow. This match was enjoyable. I will post live reactions to this. Comment, subscribe, tell me what you think about this show. Tell you how you think this was great, okay? Chi-Town, we run this shit, okay? This was a great show. That's just plain and simple. So once again, you know it's me the HOOD with the news and the reviews. You know what I am, you know what I do, you know what's going down. This is NXT TakeOver Chi-Town. Alright, throw your C's up. I'm out of here. See you later. Chicago. Peace. NXT.